Warning, this is an adult-oriented podcast about really perverse things, like communication and consent. If you are under 18 and looking for answers to questions about sex or kink, please visit scarletteen.com. For the dude bro listeners, this is the nerdy shit. Fuck off!
So you have to string up the right extension cords over the bed, and I run them through those plant hangers that they have that you screw into the ceiling. That way you can set different toys at different lengths, so that while you're writhing around in bed, you can go to different areas. And then you set up the surround sound system. It's a 7.0 surround sound. So I can have my ASMR in my left ear and then the moans and stuff on the right ear. Nice. And then they combine in the center of the bed with the bass underneath the box spring, so it just rumbles.
Can I come over?
Man whore, man whore. Everybody wants to be a man whore. Man whore, man whore. A man whore on Lala's land.
Hello, Lala Landiers. This is Lala bringing you live from the studio. And I say live because I have an audience tonight. I've got Greedy and Brat of Steel. Hi, guys. Hi. And there's even a cute pooch. Who's that pooch? Lady dog. And I'm joined tonight with Tess to my right and Sugar to my left and Thief of Dreams across from me. All right. Tonight, instead of asking questions because we have a full table, we're going to do a Did You Know sexuality stuff. All right. You guys ready?
We're ready.
Do we need safe words for this?
No.
Okay.
All right. Did you know that nearly 10% of all dreams include sex?
No, I didn't know that.
Yes.
Yes. Did you know that women mostly dream of politicians, celebrities, and their exes?
Yes.
And did you know that men mostly dream of having multiple partners?
No, I did not know that.
That is
I did not know that either.
their number one dream. Okay. Did you know that women can get erections also?
Yes.
Good. All right. For those listeners who don't know, the clit is made up of the same spongy erectile tissue as a man's penis. So there you go. And it gets swollen and engorged. Yeah. Did you have something to add?
I was just going to say yes, and covered in the same enzymes. So actually, Viagra works on the G-spot for women just as well as for men.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Cool.
Ooh, what if it gets stuck for like 4 hours? Do girls have to go to the hospital too?
Oh, I don't think that I would go. I'd just wait it out.
Okay. Did you know that 3% of people have no sexual fantasies at all? I'm not sure if I believe that. 3% of all human beings have no sexual fantasies.
Well, there's asexual people.
Yeah, I was just going to say asexuals cover a pretty significant portion. Some don't like to identify, but yeah.
Okay. Well, that I didn't think of them, but thank you for educating me on that. Did you know that headaches may actually make you more in the mood?
No.
Brad of Steel's nodding his head. Did you know?
I have coital headaches all the time, unfortunately. I have coital migraines, and they are a beast.
But then do you have sex and it relieves it?
Yes.
That's nice,
I have
right?
heard that sex relieves headaches. Yes.
Yeah. They say that migraine sufferers reported higher levels of sexual desire, which suggests the reasoning that migraines and sexual desire may be influenced by the same brain chemical. Yes. You agree with that?
Interesting.
Did you learn all this in school, Tess?
Not necessarily in school, but it is part of, not my thesis, but one of the focal points that I want to go into later.
Okay. Did you know that if you leave your socks on, you can have a better orgasm?
I hope that one is not true.
Wait, then what am I going to orgasm into?
Well, the research I did says that having nice warm feet can create a totally relaxed and anxiety-free body. If your feet are cold, it takes away from your orgasmic pleasure because your feet are cold and you're uncomfortable.
Now that I did know, but
Okay.
the socks part,
Just cover your feet with something else, not socks.
I do. I have a thermal heater that I use, and I keep my feet right by it.
Nice.
Because like you said, when my feet are nice and warm, you get the best pleasure.
Yeah. Yeah.
So put her feet to the fire is what you're telling everybody.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, here's a fun one that we did a little bit of research while I was here. Vibrators were first developed as a medical device. Did you know that?
Yes.
Do you know why?
Well,
To
we were talking
cure
about
ins-
this beforehand, so
for insanity.
yes.
Yes. They call
Well,
it...
not to cure insanity,
Right.
but they felt that women had mental issues, so
Yeah. To alleviate their...
hysteria.
Hysteria, thank you. They call it hysteria paroxysm. Paroxysm, which is just a fancy Victorian name for orgasm.
Interesting.
In the Victorian days,
That needs to be a bumper sticker.
1869. That's when the vibrator was made, and actually it was steam powered. Can you imagine putting that on
Holy
you?
shit.
A steam powered massager. Yes, that's crazy. Did you know 75% of women don't orgasm through regular sex?
Yes.
Unfortunately,
Sadly.
yes.
Because 3/4 of the women need direct clitoral stimulation, which is me, for sure. Just saying. And did you know breakup sex isn't always a bad idea?
Wait, what?
Breakup sex is not always a bad idea.
Why is
Really?
it not always a bad idea?
Because it can help you with the process of moving on, and it may be the exact closure you need.
Interesting.
Studies say. I don't know.
I'm going to text somebody real quick.
And I'm going to leave it with this last one. And did you know that the most popular sex fantasy is not Princess Leia in the gold bikini? Greedy's looking at me. Did you know that, Tess?
I don't know, because I don't think I would have ever thought of
Yeah, I would have
Princess Leia in the gold bikini.
But
I would've
every
never thought about
every man thinks of Princess Leia. So they say. But actually,
they?
that's not true. What is your fantasy, Thief?
From Star Wars?
No, in general. Is it Princess Leia in a bikini?
No,
Like your number one?
Never has been.
Never had.
Yeah.
No. Well,
But I was really young
Mm-hmm.
when I first saw those, so like there was no sex tied into it. Like I wasn't a teenager or even close to being a teenager, so
Gotcha.
okay.
so I don't know. I
All
don't
right.
get that.
Well, I'm going to read you what really is.
Okay.
It's not Princess Leia. It is multi-partner or group sex, followed by BDSM fantasies, followed by novelty adventure, which I'm not sure I understand what that is. And then the last one is taboo and forbidden sex, which again, not 100% sure what that is. Maybe you guys do.
Incest,
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
That's what I've heard a lot.
Yeah.
like the taboo thing.
That incest
Well,
is
I
high
mean-
on the list.
That's what you see on every porn page. Just
Yeah.
incest porn. But not, it's fake, but
So that would be the taboo and forbidden.
Yeah.
I'd imagine,
imagine
so.
so.
What about the novelty adventure? Would that be like the anime stuff?
Yeah,
Could
probably
be,
things
yeah.
that you can only do once.
Like the girls dressed up as cows
Oh,
with
like-
penises and
ooh.
breasts?
or either
But yes,
having
I'm getting
sex
nods.
while bungee jumping, that kind of thing.
Tentacle
But things you
porn,
can only do once. Ooh.
like an Indiana
Did you say
Jones
tentacle
style.
porn?
Yeah, I was
All
thinking
right.
because the adventure. I mean, I think of adventure when I think of tentacle porn. Some people
I'm-
think horror and stuff, but I mean, teach their own.
I just get a little excited
A little wiggly.
thinking about that. Well, that was fun. Did you guys have anything left to say about all of those little comments that I made? Anything?
They were very interesting, and I learned something.
I did. I did enjoy them.
Oh, good. So it was
fun.
fun.
Yeah,
Good.
very fun.
Yay. And so we will wrap up Lala's Land and shoot right into the Gotham Press Podcast.
From Bakersfield to Mount Olympus, Gotham Press talks naughty business. Sexual topics to explore your whoredom. Good if you're new or a kinky Yoda. Gotham Press Podcast. The dirty kinksters your parents warned you about.
Welcome, Gothamites, to another episode of the Gotham Press Podcast. It is I, Thief, along with Lala, and we have two guests with us tonight. We have Tess. Hello, Tess.
Hi, Thief. How are you?
I am good, thank you. And we have Sugar as well. Hello, Sugar.
Yes. I go by Sugar, but my full fet name is Purely Sugar.
Purely
Yes.
Sugar. So no granulations?
No.
No powdered,
No.
no brown.
No. Well,
Oh, yeah.
Brown sugar. Packed brown sugar.
I love pure cane sugar.
And Lala, how have you been?
Good. Really good.
Good.
Yes. And you, Thief? How was your week?
Uneventful, so good.
So good.
It's good.
You did a great job on editing last week's show.
Thank
I
you.
really liked it. I'm very happy
Our
with
Shark Daddy episode,
that was fantastic. Shark Daddy. Yeah.
who apparently has a shirt that we were not told about.
Oh, he didn't even tell us.
Son
What a
of a...
punk.
Yep,
Oh man.
We're talking to you, Shark Boy.
that's right.
Punk. Anemic, tell him he's a punk.
Wouldn't say
'Cause he doesn't
punk.
listen.
That's kind of harsh.
It's not harsh.
It is very harsh.
It's truthful.
Not if you've been to prison.
You know what? He's a bully. I'm just giving it back,
You're trying to bully a bully,
pretty much.
so two negatives make a right.
I was called the bully beater in high school, so I can attest for the greatness of being
Thank you.
bullying a bully.
Yes.
Can I be a bully?
No, you can't. I don't think you have it in you. If nobody can hear, Brad F. Steele is asking if he could be a bully, but no, he can't. He doesn't have the ability. Love you that much.
There could be a switch in there somewhere that he could flip and just like go completely bully.
Maybe, but I don't think so.
No,
No.
I don't really either. But I'm trying to give hope
Okay.
Keep hope alive.
to the bully dreams.
Yes. Hey, Thief,
Yep,
where can our listeners find us?
in the show notes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And they can contact us
yeah.
all down there in the show notes.
On Discord, we've got you can even go to the Podbean website and leave messages on the episodes. You can go to FetLife and find us.
You can call us at
Candy Sweetbox.
805-303-1173.
That's it.
You are fired,
I
but
used
not
to
until
know
the
it,
show's
which is
over.
bad. I used to have it memorized, and I've completely forgotten because I just don't use it.
Well, we have a fun show tonight, I think.
We do. We have an exciting ending.
Orgasmic, would you say?
It could be
Could be an orgasmic show.
a show of orgasms.
Yeah, because
Wait, no, we can't do that.
Why?
Well, I guess we could technically.
Totally could.
We need more Patreons for that, though.
Well, thank you to our patron supporters.
Yes.
We'd have to pay people.
No,
Wait,
we
we
wouldn't.
can't pay people. That's illegal, right? Wait, how does that work?
Yes.
Is it
that
prostitution or just porn?
I think
If you film it as porn.
can you get
if you
gifts?
I don't know if you make it.
It's different if it's a gift, right?
Oh, yes,
That's
there
a
is
good
audio
question.
porn.
You can definitely give it away.
Give it away, give it away, give it away, give it away. So we were talking about orgasms.
We were going to.
Yeah, can we?
Sure.
Yeah, Purely Sugar, you had some questions about orgasms.
Oh, yes. It was a conversation I had with a friend a few days ago, like a week ago maybe at this point. But my mental and like physical experience with orgasms. It's an interesting one. Growing up, I think, I never learned in school or anywhere about a female orgasm. And all I saw online was a male orgasm. I never really saw a female orgasm, like, unless it was squirting, which is an orgasm also. But it was never really talked about an internal orgasm. And so that's something that really interests me, is because I felt like for a long time I have a really hard time coming, and I'm not sure if it's mental, like me thinking I'm not squirting unless I'm releasing. I'm not coming unless I'm releasing something. I must be squirting in order to come, and it's like a mental thing for me. It's interesting. I don't know.
Did you watch porn?
Yes, I did.
Was there
I
no
do watch
female orgasms in the porn you watched?
I mean, I don't think I understood.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't think I understood. I didn't fully understand a lot of female anatomy for a long time. It took me a long time to get there.
You're making me think, because like all the porn I watch, there's usually always female orgasm, but that's also because I watch a lot of masturbation porn. So
And I do
when I
not.
think of like the couples porn or the two people having sex porn, I don't think
Female orgasms
Yeah,
are
not.
not centralized.
Yeah,
and you
in,
don't see it.
Male-female porn.
I mean, you can't always see it, and it's not always a focal point.
at
Right.
all.
Yeah.
Like it's all about him
Yeah.
and where it goes.
But isn't the moaning and screaming supposed to signify that they're having an orgasm? I don't really watch porn either.
I think
but
it's more just like desire than
Yeah,
orgasm.
that's
Yeah.
just pleasure.
Yeah.
Orgasm is usually when you reach your climax.
yeah.
And the only time I ever saw that was with squirting. So mentally,
That's a very good point.
Yeah.
I don't think very many women really squirt, right?
Oh, I do.
I mean,
yeah.
you
I do.
You know what? As I've gotten older, I've learned more about squirting because I didn't start until my 30s.
to squirt. Did you practice it? Did you like make yourself do it or?
No, I had a partner. Well, I have a partner who is very, very skilled, and I loan him out all the time to friends and family who have problems orgasming.
You loan him out?
Yes, he is wonderful. And like for example, last year I took him to my hometown and I let him have sex with one of my favorite cousins who is in her 40s and she had never had an orgasm. And he does this thing where he just makes women feel so good. And he has perfected the art of making women come. So back in the day when Craigslist was not, I can't think of the right word, when it wasn't censored, I used to put in ads and we would have him practice on women. And it's something that he does very, very well. But to answer your original question about squirting, squirting is definitely an art. It is. Did you want me to finish or
Go ahead. I was gonna say my partner's the same way. With he makes the joke like, I wish I could have like a glory hole, but for me to make girls squirt.
Yes. So when I met this partner, I had never squirted before. And so like you said, I thought it was something that only you see on porn. I didn't know if it was urine. So I had to do some research and I found out exactly what it is. It's a lubrication secreted by the Skene gland in women, Skene, and it's secreted when the Grafenberg spot is stimulated.
Okay.
So it's a specific spot right below the abdominal. So if you take your fingers and you make them into the shape of a hook, you go inside the vagina and it feels like there's a little button, and you'll feel it. And you, instead of tickling it, it's like you press it.
Yeah.
When you press this button, the Grafenberg spot, you sort of massage it a little bit. It's not a rubbing sensation. It's definitely more of a pushing.
Yeah.
And when you do that long enough, you will secrete from the Skene gland.
The harder, the better.
The harder, the better.
The
Oh
harder,
my
the
God.
better.
Wow. I've never.
Sorry if that sounded like a an anatomy.
No,
lesson.
did you
No,
see? Like,
no.
I'm so enthralled.
Yeah.
Like, I want more. Tell me more. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
it's-
interesting.
So it's not necessarily that not many women can do it. It's just a very difficult spot to get to.
Okay.
So,
Cramping up.
yeah.
My partner, every single time he's like, my hand hurts.
Yeah. yeah.
I've never squirted.
Yeah.
I just figured I was one of those people that couldn't.
And I bet if you find the right partner, cause I definitely know that it's an art form because I will try to give instructions, because as you get older, you learn your body and you know what you like and you know what feels good. So it's like, we don't really have to waste time, with you discovering what I like. Let me just tell you what I like. And if I give, my partner's directions to my G-spot, then sometimes some people will be like, hey, I know what I'm doing. It's like, I'm telling you, I can tell you exactly where to go so you won't need to grapple around in there.
Yeah, I will say my partner, how he figured out how to do it was a porn video instructing how to make women squirt.
That's awesome.
And I imagine he was fairly young, like probably 18, 19. when he found this video and figured out how to do it. And, you know, when we've hung out, he's like, yeah, this is how I learned how to do it. Here's the video. It taught me how to do it. I'm like, oh, that's cool that you would put in the effort.
Yeah. And I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I'm glad that you gave us kind of the anatomy lesson on it, because like the video that I had learned from may have been, I don't know if it was the same, but it was basically telling you to go 2 knuckles in, curl your fingers, and then you go up and down instead of like in and out. Mm-hmm. And then you kind of just keep going up and down, and then you can kind of pull up more and more and more. And
when women say that there is a button, it really feels like a button. Mm-hmm. When you get in there, and almost all women can do it. I do it in the shower. You hike those legs up and you get in there. And it might take a while for you to find it, and I don't want to say root around in there,
But basically,
but when you'll know, it's like it's right below, it's right above your pelvis and below your stomach. It's on the same side as your stomach. That might give you a little bit of direction to let you know where you're going. So when you get in there, and you find it yourself, it's easy to do it in the shower when you're standing up. It is harder to do it yourself from a laying position.
I can't do it myself.
When you're laying down.
I can't do it myself in general.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a struggle. It's like, I don't get that relief until I see my partner.
And you know what? And not to just throw out imaginary numbers. For women, female orgasms are a combination of the physiological and the psychological. That being the case, I would, if you were asking my opinion, I'd say it was 80-20. I'd say it's like 80% mental for us and only about 20% physical.
Yeah.
And because of that huge just scale difference, I would honestly say that sometimes it has to do with the person rather than what the person is actually doing.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes,
But
I
definitely,
agree.
Lala, I say when you give it a try. Just because when you find that right hook, even Megan Thee Stallion has a song called Captain Hook. And it's about it. It's really funny that, you know, women are learning their bodies a lot more than we used to be able to 20, 30, 40 years ago. And, you know, female orgasms, instead of just saying orgasms, female orgasms are a whole different species because, you know, we know why men have to have orgasms, you know, ejaculation, procreation, all of those Asians. But, you know, there's so much speculation on why females have orgasms. And it's said that in order to ovulate, eons ago, that's what we used to have an orgasm in order to ovulate.
Yeah.
And we still have it because it's an evolutionary process where our pleasure makes us more lubricated. Our lubrication makes it easier to have more bonding with your partners. So it still has a very minor evolutionary purpose, but I'm just happy that it didn't weed itself out with survival of the fittest.
So I have a question though. So if you're doing that, pressing the G spot, we'll just shorten it because what are you calling it?
The Grafenberg spot. Yeah.
Does it make you have an orgasm? Like, do you moan and does it feel good? Or the look on your face. Like, is it?
It feels really good.
It feels very, very good.
Yeah.
That's the reason why I would say that's why we call it a button, because it's like you can press to the left of it and maybe nothing.
Yeah.
You can press to the right of it and you'd be like, oh, okay, that's okay, that's cool, that's all right. But when they hit the actual button, you're like, there it is.
Yeah.
There she goes.
Yep.
And so it's probably a little bit different on every woman, your button might be a little to the left, my button might be a little to the right, but that's the reason why I would say it's best to describe it as a button, because you first off, you do feel the little hump, and then second, when it's pressed, it's just like a little, and there it is.
It's a beautiful butterfly waterfall.
It is. It is. And I was like, yeah, so that's the reason why. And like she said, the harder the better. So when they're in there and they got it pressed and they go faster, that's how some guys have learned to make it arc out. That's his specialty. I just go absolutely crazy when I can watch him make a woman arc out with the squirt. It's just beautiful.
I don't. Wow. Okay. So your question though, Sugar, was not.
Yeah.
You don't feel like you're having an orgasm unless you squirt.
Yeah. It's. I think just because the male orgasm is so glorified that it's been an issue for me. Like, am I having an orgasm if I'm not squirting? I mean, I'm not getting the same sensation, that's for sure. It's not as powerful, it's not as good. But mentally, I'm like, I just didn't come if I don't get to squirt.
What do you do to self-stimulate?
That's a difficult question. I don't know. I have an interesting way I masturbate, for sure. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna say. I have an interesting way I masturbate. It's definitely not as enjoyable as with my partner.
That might be a good place to start. Like, for example, and you're gonna laugh, but I just had a very close friend go to Vegas for me this past weekend and pick up 6 of my favorite vibrators. They're the old school 1980s purple, called a Krypton stick, and it's just no frills, no lils, but just about 8 or 9 inches long, powerful, and it just has the right amount of torque. Whereas my partner and his other girlfriend went for my birthday to get me this black monstrosity that was like, I'm not gonna like this, and he just really was really looking at me with this expectancy, like I was supposed to like this thing. So sometimes it has a lot to do with finding that right sensation that's just for you. I don't know what it is about this purple thing. I wear the paint off this thing.
Are they hard plastic or is it a jelly?
They are hard plastic. It's
just takes the batteries at the bottom and twists on and off. That kind.
Yep. And I guess the point is that I bought the bullet. I bought that rose thing that's really popular everywhere. Have you guys seen the rose?
No.
Oh my god.
What, does it sit on your clit and just vibrate?
No, it's really beautiful, but it's worth. Well, I don't want to give a bad review. It just doesn't work for certain people.
Okay.
It looks like a rose, and you put it around your clit, and it makes a sucking sensation.
I have heard. I've heard people talk about that.
It is beautiful, but it's just not for me.
Okay.
I love how it looks.
Yeah.
I don't know. I tend to get more pleasure out of stimulation, like penetration, than I do clitoral stimulation.
Okay.
I don't know why that is. I have some ideas of why that is, but I just don't. I don't get the same sensation.
Okay.
I just don't.
Okay.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Everybody's different.
Yeah.
Like, I don't get much from penetration. I like the clitoral stimulation. That's my thing.
Oh yeah, I'm right there.
I'm a grinder. Lay on my belly with my fist and grind.
I have a question.
Oh, I wish I could do that.
You brought up a very good or very interesting thing for me, and with the toy that it's your go-to, it's your favorite. It gets it done when you know how to master it, and other things may work, just not as good. And I have the same issue, and what I used to use is no longer made. And so
they discontinued mine too. Go ahead.
And I'm like, fuck. So every once in a while one will pop up on eBay from like some of these old stores or locker, and I'm like, yep, I'll take it. But but I'm wondering if anybody else here has the same like go-to equipment that they use that they just can't seem to find a replacement for, or one that's better. Like it's just stuck with you.
If I ever broke my hand, I'd be very sad.
and I marvel. I bow to you. I marvel at women who can self-stimulate. I have to have something. I remember when I first moved to California, and I didn't have anything with me. I think I used a brush once. Yeah. I have to have something because like Sugar was saying, it's so mental, and the way that my mind works is it's the same as tickling yourself. So I've never been able to self-stimulate with just my hands.
Okay.
Interesting.
You can't like separate your hand from yourself kind of thing.
Right. So it's like you can't, just like you can't tickle yourself. I know I've tried for many years and it's not happening.
Well, tickling's my hard no, so I feel you on that.
I just trained myself not to be ticklish because I had 3 brothers.
God.
So yeah.
Ooh.
Oh, God.
Yeah. No to tickle.
Yeah. But that's funny because my partner absolutely hates my vibrator, and he's going to be mad because my lover just went, and when they told him that it was going out of commission, I called them right up and I ordered the last 5 that they have in stock. So soon I will have 10 of these monstrosities, and hopefully that lasts me for at least 2, maybe 3 years.
Do they come with batteries already in them? I
buy
suggest
the
taking them out.
I love this thing so much. I buy the rechargeable batteries, and I have a charging station.
Oh, nice.
So you've got about 2 years then before you have to get an electronics degree as well.
Oh
so
my
you can take them apart and rebuild them.
Because they're so old school and clunky, but it is something about them that I just can't get enough of. It has the right amount of torque, the right amount of power. It's not too loud. It's just right.
They are loud these days, man.
Yes, the one that my partner and his girlfriend got, it is so loud and buzzy.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
I don't want
what
that
am
inside me.
Yeah, it's and it kind of vibrates. It kind of shakes a bit. I was like, yeah, thank you. It was one of those. Oh, thank you, birthday gifts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The polite.
I don't have a lot
Such a pretty color.
It's like, I don't want this.
I do not have a lot of toys. My partner got me a wand, not this Christmas, last Christmas. And I don't really use it. I mean, it makes me numb, honestly. It's too powerful. And I have a butt plug, which I rarely use because it doesn't fit.
Oh.
Yeah.
Too big or too small?
Too big.
Well, you gotta...
I gotta try, and I have tried. It's just super painful.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's super
and some people
painful.
just aren't into the anal play. I'm
I want to, though. I want to be into it.
okay.
Yeah. But I've asked for advice from people, and I've gotten some... I've been told by my friend it feels a lot better if you clean out beforehand. So I'm going to try that.
Okay.
Hopefully, yeah.
And the numbness with the toys may not be a bad thing because, like, for me, there's issues when I don't have my toys. And I'm like, probably could do better at this if I wasn't stuck on the whole, level 13 vibration settings and that I'm growing accustomed to.
Did we help you at all?
Yeah, I think this is an interesting topic.
It is an interesting topic. Yes. Greedy's showing me butt plugs. I've got a number of them.
Yeah.
Yes. A lot of them are really small, though. Not that I need a giant one, but I have a perfect purple one.
A perfect purple one? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, mine isn't that big. It just doesn't... We've tried, and it just hurts, and it just pops back out. So.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Something that I've learned this spread of steel, just in case people couldn't tell, as I jump in off the... You stop that. A lot of people try and just jump straight to it. And if it's too big, that's not going to work.
Yeah.
So you need to, one, be very aroused first before you even start touching there. And then slowly start with fingers, do fingers for a while, do more fingers, and
Lots
then
of lube.
something a little
Yeah.
bit, lots of lube, something a little bit bigger. Find the right lube.
Yeah.
Because everyone's going to tell you a different one, but you have to find which one feels the best to you. And then slowly increase size. And once you're very relaxed and aroused, then it will work.
Yeah. I've heard that also.
That's like the best advice I can give as someone with female anatomy who does a lot of anal play. So
Thank you.
Cool.
So what you're saying is I can't do it in my truck before I come in here?
you could if you wanted to.
Okay.
I mean, I'll come help you.
I'll force it.
You're so
No, don't
nice.
force things. Don't force.
I know that our listeners can't see it, but this is the rose thing
Yes. Yes.
that I was talking about.
Yes, I've seen that before.
Okay.
It's like about $60. It's called the sucking vibrator for women with 7 intense suctions. It's a clit sucker, a nipple stimulator, and you just put it on there, and it just it does this to it.
So I was listening to Perverted Podcast, and Kathy was talking about it, and she isn't in love with hers, but she kind of explained it. You know, when you have a speaker and the bass like vibrates it, like
Yes.
she said it's not really sucking; it does that vibrating, like
Yeah.
feeling,
pressure, like an
the
air pressure
like the
thing?
pressure of it. Yeah. So
Which is a form of suction.
is it okay?
Yeah.
So that's how she explained it, and
Just
she has one. So.
Not like a vacuum, like a
No, it's not a vacuum. It's
Yeah.
it's a little bit of a pulling sensation, but some people love it though. I have 2 family members who recommended it to me.
I would
and-
probably like it a lot.
and they thought that I would love it.
Then I would get really addicted to it, and then, but I don't get oral, so that might be a nice little,
yeah.
might be a nice little thing to try.
Nice little distraction on your lunch breaks at work.
That's exactly what I was thinking, Thief. Oh my goodness.
Oh, that's cute.
Orgasms are always fun to talk about, but I think we do need to move on.
Well, hold on.
Oh,
I have a question about orgasms
Sure.
for the ladies. Did you ever, in your past history, think that you had an orgasm and then realize once you actually had one that, oh no, that wasn't what I thought it was?
Oh yes, when
Yes.
when I was a teenager, you're doing things, you're moving and you're shaking and you're like, yay, that was fun. And then you meet that person and you have your first out. I don't know how many other women have them, but you have your first like out of body experience. Like that's the reason why I tell people all the time when I write about it, there's a difference between busting a nut, coming, and having an orgasm. For me, they are 3 total different levels. One is just like another one is like, oh, and then the third is just this. Yes, yes, and so you do have to differentiate which one. Sometimes you're, like you said, you're at work or you're somewhere and you just need to release very quickly. You need to have a very quick climax. I wouldn't call that an orgasm. To me, that's just coming.
Okay.
Or
stress reliever.
I like
yeah, that's
it.
just a stress reliever. But an orgasm is an alien of its own design.
Good to know. Thank you.
Sugar?
Well, let's see. I did not have a lot of sex before I met my partner. Actually, the first time I had sex was like 2 or so weeks before I met my partner, who I have right now.
Awesome.
And that was when I was 20, and I'm almost 22 next week. And yeah, definitely. When I met my partner, it was like nothing I had ever felt before. While I had had sexual experiences with other people, definitely not the same. It just, I don't know, I feel like my partner tries super hard to make me feel good, where every guy before him didn't try much at all.
Yeah, that's not,
Yeah.
not woman-centric.
Yeah. It was about them, not me.
Yeah. I found that a lot in my 20s also.
Yeah.
Guys were just there to get themselves off.
Yeah.
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 Which is why I had my hand. The trusty fist.
I might try that one day.
Did your first orgasm scare you at all? No? There was no fear?
Oh no, mine was and people, whether you believe it or not, to this day, I will never forget it. It was like a literal out of body experience. I can remember my first orgasm because I feel like I was floating above my body, looking down at it. It was that beautiful and intense.
That's awesome.
That sounds amazing.
Oh yeah, I will never forget that.
So for me and my partner, it did take us a long time to get to the point where we are now. Things didn't fit. It didn't always work out. It was difficult. Sex is a very stressful thing for him, unlike myself. I am definitely the one who enjoys sex more in our relationship. Not because I don't do a good job, but he just has a lot of feelings around sex. And yeah, no, when we got to that point, it was just like, oh my God. I have never felt anything like that in my entire life. Oh my God, what did you do to me? It was like I wanted to cry. I could not move. It was great. The best feeling ever.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Lala, did you ever have any fear?
No.
No?
No fear.
Good.
Yeah. No, it was good.
I feel like this conversation is very female leaning because as a guy, like I can only speak for myself, but I don't think we have different kind of orgasms other than maybe how they're stimulated. But I mean, like I don't get that whole brain melting, just kind of, I feel like my body just expanded into a pool of the universe kind of thing. Like it's just
I think some people do. My partner describes the differences. Sometimes when he's with a woman that's just for sex, versus when he's with an actual partner.
oh nice.
So I think some men have that differentiation.
Good. That's good to hear.
Yeah, I would think so because the intimacy would be different.
Yeah.
And the bond would be different. So then your experience would be different.
Oh yeah.
The emotional bond. Yeah.
Hard to get that in a massage parlor. Just saying.
Now, if you can recommend a massage parlor here in the city,
I wish I could. I can tell you where not to go. That's about it.
Oh man, that's what I want to get my partner. I've been looking for a place here in the city every time I visit Bakersfield.
Nope, I just know of the bad ones.
For somewhere where like a happy ending type massage parlor? Oh.
Like, and they weren't even good massages. They were bad massages. Like one, I told her, I was like, my shoulders and my neck is like, I wasn't even looking for a happy ending. I was searching for one, but I wasn't looking for one. So I went in and she like didn't even touch my shoulders or my neck. And
She just went straight for the happy ending?
and like beat me to death with her elbows for like 40 minutes or so, and then would like threaten me to give her a tip. So I gave her $20 and she's like, no, you tip more. And I was like, no, I don't. Bye. And they got mad, followed me out in the parking lot.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Did you get the happy ending?
No happy ending. No, if there was a happy ending, there'd be a much bigger tip.
Yeah. Wow. That sounds horrible.
It was. It was not the greatest.
It's crazy. Thief,
Yeah.
would you please tell us about your kinky Insta of the week, please?
The Kinky Insta of the week is going to be Ev'yan Whitney at Ev'yan, Evyan .WHITNEY. And she is a sexuality. I don't know if I'm going to say this right. Doula.
Mm-hmm.
Doula. Where was I going? She's an author, a facilitator, and sensualist. And I can't talk for some reason. But she is also, in my mind, a female empowerist because she's the creator of the Sensual Selfie Challenge on Instagram. And it may be elsewhere too. But it encourages women to take pictures not for others, but rather for themselves. To show themselves how badass they are and to explore their own body and mind.
nice.
Nice. That is cool.
It's very sweet.
I like that sensual selfie challenge. I might have to look that up.
You should.
Hashtag sensual selfie challenge. Now, if I just put that in Facebook, hashtag.
I don't know if it's on Facebook.
How do I do it?
On Instagram. You would go to the
I
search
don't like
function.
Instagram. Can I just put it? No, that's how you do hashtag, huh? Just on Instagram?
No, you can do it anywhere.
I'm
try it on
old.
Facebook.
I don't have one either.
I have
feel bad.
Facebook.
I had Facebook, but
I have Facebook, and that's all.
Ooh,
Well,
I
don't
like
feel
Facebook,
bad.
and yeah.
I have a history with Facebook. I don't use Facebook. Nope.
Can
That's
I
my
hashtag on
no-no
Discord?
spot.
You can hashtag it anywhere you want and search.
Will it pull? Okay.
It might. I
All
don't
right.
know.
We may have to try that afterwards.
Okay.
Yeah, that's awesome. So that'll be in the show notes, so people can look that up, right?
And clicky the linky. Yep.
Clicky the linky.
Yep.
All right, and now we get to talk about sex and kink.
Ooh, nice. Finally.
Sex and kink education, rather,
Oh.
because our guests are both going into the fields covering sex and are kinky.
Yes.
Imagine that. If they weren't kinky, I don't think they'd be sitting here at our table.
That's not true.
How many vanillas have you had
some
sit
vanillas,
here?
maybe?
Well, none that I can think of off the top of my head, but I mean, we wouldn't be opposed to it.
No, not opposed.
Like, it would be kind of fun to get them in the hot seat and just throw like some really sexual charged questions at them and
Watch
rate
them
them
turn
until
red.
they start sweating.
I
and
can
they're
volunteer my
screaming.
partner.
They get like
I was just about to say
blotchy.
my partner's girlfriend is super vanilla, and it drives me.
People think he's not vanilla. They look at him and they're like, "Oh, you're a completely different type of person." And then you're like, "Oh, no, you're pretty vanilla." I think he'd be offended if I said he was vanilla, but
Some people
But-
find the term very offensive too, and I kind of chuckle because I don't care.
Yeah.
Right. So, there's a question on here. What are your opinions on the current state of how sex education is covered?
I'll let you go first. I want to know what your opinion is.
Well, I am a proponent of comprehensive sex education because what I hate right now, and I do believe in states' rights and district rights, but right now, the way we have it, different states and districts have the right to choose what is taught and what is excluded. That being the case, you can have mostly students in, say, a religious school who want to learn about sexual education who are denied that opportunity because it goes against the doctrines of the school. There's like a 7 major hit points that have to be hit when you're looking at what can and cannot be taught for sex education in America. And it's very linear. It's very nuclear based off the family. And there's way too much abstinence. What I would love to see is for us to one day have a comprehensive sex education plan that deals not only with what you should and shouldn't do, what you shouldn't do as far as pregnancy prevention, STI prevention, and how not to engage in sex. I would love for us to get to a point one day where we have sex education that teaches youth about pleasure, which is still 100% no taboo, where they teach youth about eroticism and desire, and most importantly, where they teach youth about consent.
Yes.
I would really love for us to have a more comprehensive sex education plan that is taught on a federal level, but because people do have the right to say, I don't want my child to learn about sex in school, or I don't want my child to learn about sex from blah, 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 then we're not going to get that anytime soon.
And you can easily have your child not be taught about sex in school or TV or anything, but you have to educate them about sex. That has to become your responsibility because they're going to learn. If it's not in a classroom, it's going to be on the playground. I mean, that's, where do you want them to learn from?
Yeah.
Did you listen to last week's episode by chance?
I haven't had it yet.
Okay. Well, we talked about in Utah, which is a big Mormon state.
Yes.
They refuse to teach consent in their sexual
Right.
education.
Right.
Yeah.
So we had a little bit of banter about that last week. Yeah, we're not for that.
Yeah.
It's,
Yeah, not
'cause
at all. Because
that's putting the students in jeopardy
Yeah.
in any situation. If they leave Utah and they come to California,
and they
and
don't,
they don't
know
know,
about consent.
that's
Right.
scary.
So I have a lot to say. I mean, yours was a very good answer. I agree with everything you had to say. Yes, 1,000%. But, I've grown up in California. I live in California. And my experience with sexual education personally has been awful. Just downright terrible. First, we had it in middle school. And everybody I know, even professors who have taught me, had the same teacher. And she didn't teach us consent. It was strictly straight sex and fear. It was just all about scaring. And what really made me mad was you're teaching to a class of middle school girls, because they separated us, of course, which they shouldn't, but they did. They were telling us that men only want you for sex. That was pretty much the whole class, was men only want you for sex. And that was extremely damaging for me. And it took me so long to unlearn that. And it would have, if they did not teach me that, it would have helped me a lot to avoid a lot of situations that I was put in slightly later in life. So I feel consent is like, yes, the most important thing we should be teaching children. We should be starting at a young age. Elementary school students should be learning about consent, because it's all about protecting children. How are we going to protect children if they don't know about consent? And those people who are going to be hurting them are people who they know, like their family members. And it's just, it's upsetting, because we hear a lot about, like, do it for the children. We want to protect the children. But then you don't when it comes down to it, because we don't teach children about how to protect themselves. And not necessarily that children should know how to protect themselves, but they should be able to go to a teacher and say, hey, my parents doing this to me, or somebody in my family's doing this to me, and for them to understand that what is happening to them is not okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I agree.
Yeah.
And as a parent, because the schools are lacking, we should educate our own children, which I'm happy to say that I did, because, well, I just lived differently,
Right.
Yeah.
I had the lifestyle in my life, and I knew a lot of things that I didn't know in my 20s or my teens.
Yeah.
Right? All of that was fantasy. BDSM was fantasy to me then. Something that, like a taboo, I guess you would say back then. But then once I got into the lifestyle, like, my whole mind opened up, and then I was like, no, we have to teach people communication, consent, responsibility, respect. Like, so I did that for my kids, because I felt like that was important, and I knew they weren't going to learn it in school, because I didn't learn it in school.
Yeah. I got lucky. I got really, really lucky, actually. That because I had a typical biological family who shied away from the issues of sex, but I got lucky and I was adopted by a lady who did the whole laid me down on the bed, bought me books. Like, so I have with my stepdaughter, I did the same thing. I got her books and pads and tampons, and I taught her what to expect, what this is, what that is, because the main issue, like Sugar was saying, is that there is a fear from parents and adults of children knowing too much about sex. So they opt for nothing. And instead of doing that, there are ways to make sex education age appropriate.
Yes.
Like by 10, a young lady should know what her vagina is. A young man should know, what his testicles are. You don't have to give them everything all at once, and you don't have to scare them. But you can make sex so much more accessible if you
normalize it.
And normalized
Right?
if you start young. My number one wish is that we would be able to introduce pleasure, because by then children are already touching themselves. They're going to want to know what they're doing, something that feels good. But if they're not learning anything about pleasure, then they don't know who to accept that pleasure from, who not to accept that pleasure from. They don't know what part of their bodies that pleasure is coming from, where it's stemming, and how to control it. And so sometimes youth end up that's how you end up with promiscuous kids, because they feel that pleasure, so they're going to seek it out more. Whereas if you teach your child about pleasure at a younger age, they'll know how to control it, know when it's appropriate, when it's not appropriate, and things of that nature.
Yeah.
Right. I agree. Yeah. Yeah. Thief,
Yeah.
did you have anything to say?
No, I have I'm learning, so I have nothing to give back. I have questions. If your teenage child comes to you and wants a sex toy, for example, how do you handle that? Is it something you think about depending on the child, or is there a hard yes, hard no? Yeah.
My friend with the snake dream,
Yeah.
her daughter asked her for a sex toy, and she's 18. She's 18.
Oh, then yeah, definitely.
Well, yeah. I was thinking 16.
But she said no.
Does her daughter know that she can go buy her own?
I don't. She doesn't have a car, first of all, but that doesn't matter.
Amazon. Hello.
Yeah, I've recently.
Take her to buy one.
I have
Yeah.
recently become more comfortable. Bless you. Become more comfortable with talking to my mom about sex and stuff like that, which I've never been able to do before, because growing up, I was, caught watching porn multiple times and forced to go to church, and and
Religiosity aspect.
yelled at and being called a porn addict, and which I now know it wasn't the case. I just had the sex drive of puberty hit, and I was horny all the time.
Normal stuff.
Yeah, normal stuff.
I don't know what I would do if I was raised or reared in the porn age. I'm just pre-porn. That would have.
Yeah, it was just
I wonder.
Embarrassing and terrible experiences. Just for years that I had to unlearn. Oh no, it's okay it's okay if I do this. It's okay if I do that.
Right.
And it's not weird. It's normal if I do this or do that. Yeah.
And there's a. Sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, and there's a humongous middle ground between the Bible and the Kama Sutra. So you don't have to pick one to give to your kid. There's this huge middle that you can decide what needs to be learned and taught. And
I mean, I don't know. The church they sent me to also just made Uranus jokes, about planets, but I didn't get it. I was like, what does that mean? I was that innocent, but I was forced to go there because I had watched porn.
That's really amazing to me, that story, because that's actually my variable of interest that I study for my degree is sexual stigma. And when I first started, one of my favorite teachers, they were rather than using the technical terms, they were saying that you need to develop a one-line sentence that helps people understand what you're doing. And so the sentence that I came up with is, if you call a person a slut enough times, are they more or less likely to do slutty things? And I say this line all the time because it helps people to understand exactly what I study. And with what you just experienced, It's the shaming, the condemning, and by making it more of a big deal than it was, then that just added to your trauma and it stigmatized you.
Yeah.
So rather than allowing you to have the education of, okay, this is what you're watching, why are you watching it, why do you need to watch it, asking you any of those questions, it sounded like they just said, whoop, Jesus can fix it.
Yeah.
He can fix the gay out of you too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, of course. Of course.
Yeah.
Oh, hi. Sorry. I'm just knocking down all the things.
Yeah, no, still I'm sometimes forced to go to church, but I'm an atheist, but they don't know that. So
Who forces you to go to church?
my family. Yeah. Like not New Year's Eve, Christmas Eve.
Mass.
We're then my family's Christian, so not mass, but
Like Easter Sunday and that kind of thing.
yeah, like,
The
oh, you
family
have to come
outings.
with us. Or like one time, Christmas Eve, I was like, to my boyfriend, I was like, please come with me. He had a really bad day, so he was not going to come with me. So he didn't come with me, and I was forced to go. I was like, well, I'll just stay home, and he'll come pick me up, and then we can go to my grandma's house together. And my mom's like, if you don't come, you don't get to go to dinner with us afterwards.
Wow.
So I was like, oh, okay.
Religious bargaining.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah. But yeah, they don't know my religious beliefs. My brothers, I've gone the other direction. I'm not religious whatsoever. My younger brother has gone the opposite way of me and is super religious and going to a Christian
Seminary.
college. So,
Cool.
yeah. It's a good thing for him, but not for me.
Do you think that kink should be something that more college-age students should be learning? Like, should be introduced to? College students, kink.
I don't.
Oh, you don't?
No.
Okay.
Why not?
And I'm thinking not of the people who are in college to learn, but those who have an expected continuation of their education. So like they're just going because that's what they think they have to do, or that's what they're supposed to do, or they're there to party and just fraternize and do all that stuff. And so they have no sense of responsibility.
Yeah.
And so, no, they should not. 'Cause
Interesting.
They shouldn't have.
That's a very good amalgamation.
Interesting. I learned about kink in college. I knew about it beforehand, so it wasn't anything new to me. But yeah, that's how I met
This
this
gang
community. Yeah, it's because we learned about it. It's part of a course I had to take, and I wanted to take it, but yeah, it was a thing we had to learn, and I loved learning about it, and it was interesting. So
I would have to say maybe as an elective only, only because I think there are necessities and fundamentals about sexuality that we need to learn before kink. That's one of the reasons why I would probably agree with Thief, that since we don't know what a lot of the youth in college are learning about sex beforehand, if one of the first things that they learn coming in is this is needle play, maybe not so much. Maybe, maybe if there are, maybe say as an elective that you are only able to take after you've mastered or passed probably a couple of fundamental sex ed classes.
It definitely wasn't that in depth. Like, no, we did not get into needle play and stuff like that. It wasn't necessarily like kink based, like, oh, here are the kinks and whatever. But yes, we learned about a lot of other stuff before we got to BDSM. But BDSM was in the, like, it was just like basics, learning about basics about BDSM. Nothing more than basics. Yeah. But I understand where you're coming from.
I think that the guidelines that we teach to our lifestyle, the respect, the communication, the consent, all of those things, I think people would have better relationships and wouldn't be maybe getting divorced as often, wouldn't have abusive relationships perhaps, maybe would be more pleasured in bed because they could actually communicate what they want and what they need.
Yeah.
So in that aspect, as a 20-something, I wish that I had that education.
I agree with that.
Oh, I agree with that as well, because like, for example, I think that stuff like poly were taught a little bit more. I wish that, like you said, BDSM were taught a little bit more. Some of the alternative sexual orientations were taught a little bit more. But I would still say that let that be maybe like a sophomore level. At least have a freshman level where you learn the fundamentals first.
I understand. I understand what you're saying. I just feel like,
but yeah,
maybe there needs to be.
Yeah, in the lifestyle, we do have a lot of really, really good kick-ass egalitarian things that a lot of vanilla people could benefit from.
Totally.
I agree.
Contracts, negotiations.
Yes.
I love all of that.
But those are things we should be learning whether or not you do BDSM.
Well, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah, I don't know how they would do it.
Sex education?
In sex education, they just,
Yeah.
I guess.
Like, make it be more than just a one-day event that happens in your
Oh my god!
like eighth grade class or something, where they separate the boys and the girls, and then
Yep.
they tell you all about STDs that you're going to catch and
Ours
how
was
you can die.
definitely like a week long, but
I couldn't remember how
Ours
long
was
it
a
was.
week. We had to learn about the menstrual cycle. We learned about
Ooh.
STDs.
Yeah,
I learned about
I don't think we learned about
spermy
menstruation.
dudes and getting pregnant.
It was a week because we had to care for an egg or whatever it
Yeah.
was, or a walnut.
Oh.
Well, see, I think we started like the menstrual stuff in elementary school, maybe 5th or 6th grade.
Yeah.
And then, although some girls already had their periods in 5th or 6th grade.
We learned about it in 4th.
Okay, maybe it was younger.
Yeah.
It's been a long time for me. And then we did something in junior high, and then in high school, I remember they taught us how to put a condom on a banana.
Ooh, we did
to show us how to hold the tip and roll it down.
So you're lucky on the spectrum. That would probably be maybe a 4 or a 5, maybe even a 5 on this. Our school system has this weird 7-point scale on what they can choose to teach and not teach. And some schools choose like a 1, where, like you said, it's a one-day thing. They're separated. So that's kind of up there with what's
I
some
did
of
go
the
to a rich school.
Yeah, I got lucky, and we still had home ec back then.
Oh, we did too. I loved it.
Yeah.
Home ec was awesome.
Definitely my high school sex education was health class, not sex education.
we had health class.
So it was, here, if you get pregnant, we're going to teach you how to spend money correctly. Organ donations.
Not how to not get pregnant, or not how
No, we learned about some. No, not really.
Okay.
Not really.
Wow.
Not birth control. That's why I don't know
Yeah,
a lot about
some
birth
places
control.
don't even allow teaching birth control.
Oh, we did. We got that education too.
STDs though.
Yeah.
We talked a lot.
We
about
even got
STDs.
information about Planned Parenthood.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Some schools, that's even forbidden, even mentioning the
Planned
words.
Parenthood,
Wow.
Yeah.
I guess I am really, really lucky then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I think I would say that you are like a 5 out of the 7-point scale, because some schools get nada.
Yeah. I know my kids, they're 21 and 23 right now, and I know I had to sign a paper because I wanted them to learn as much as they could.
Yes.
Plus what I was teaching them. They actually had to carry like a soda bottle they decorated as a baby for a week and
cute.
take care of that.
Interesting.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
they got a little bit of, I don't know if they
Yeah.
did the condom on a banana thing. I didn't ask them. I guess I should have.
We did not. We did not learn that. I think they might have showed us. Like they had like a singular banana and a singular condom, but we did not have to do it ourselves. And yeah, no.
We all did it, and it was very funny because the guys were eating the bananas after class. And we were like, we know what was on that banana. Back then, that was really gross, but now
Yeah.
it's no big deal.
I wish I could go back in time now.
Why is that?
Show up to class without my soda bottle, and the teacher would be like, "Where's your soda bottle?" And be like, "I don't have it. Adoption's a thing."
That's great.
Yeah, I personally don't want children, so learning about, how to afford to have a baby and all that stuff, I'm like,
Not useful.
not for me, thank you.
I think you said you're like 22.
I am almost 22, so I'm 21 right now.
Your generation, and I'm not trying to be rude because I don't know all the I don't want to say the wrong thing, but I think your generation, a lot of them don't want children. Neither one of my kids want children.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of audience members saying no, they don't want children. I think there's a lot of people that
Plus,
just don't
I think
want
it has a
children
lot
anymore.
to do with that age as well. Because when I was 22, the thought of having children was like, ew.
Oh, I wanted
And
82
then I
kids.
remember one day, just
I did.
when the biological clock is a real thing for some people. I remember one day just being out and looking at a lady with a baby and saying, "Lady, I will hit you over the head for that thing."
Oh,
Yeah, and it hit hard, and it was like, what is this feeling? Who is this person? I've never wanted children.
Wow.
Children are gross. And it hit very, very hard one day, and then it was like, huh?
And so, do you have a child? You mentioned a stepdaughter. No. Okay.
No biological
Okay.
children.
I have a lot of medical conditions. Well, I have a medical condition. So, from a young age, I'm on a lot of really harsh medication because of my medical condition. And those medications cause birth defects. And I can change the medication. But considering my medication keeps me alive, I don't want to mess with it. And personally, I've also never wanted children. And so I do understand that some people are like, at a certain age, you're like, yes, I want children. But right now, I don't want children, and my partner doesn't want children. And we have both talked about it and said, if we were ever financially stable and if we, continue our relationship, then we could adopt a child if the time is right. Mm-hmm. But we don't want biological children. He wants a vasectomy, so, and, yeah.
Oh, yeah, not to get into our weird freaking laws, but I was never even allowed to, and not to say that I'm glad that they didn't, but I remember I disliked the idea of having children so much when I was around your age that I went twice to have my tubes tied, and they refused to let you.
It is
if you are not married, or if you are married, you have to have your husband's consent. There's a lot of weird laws that we have for women not being able to
make that choice
for themselves to not have children. It's really weird.
It's really sad.
It's fucked up.
Yeah.
Not just weird, fucked up.
Yeah. It's disappointing. Yeah, my partner, he worries about that too, but I'm like, you're going to be fine, dude. You're going to be fine. Just, I've talked to a lot of guys who say, no, my friend had a vasectomy and it was easy. He's like, no, I feel like they're going to take one look at me and say, you're not mentally stable. We're not going to give this to you. So that's what he's worried about. He has body modifications. Yeah.
Someone had brought up birth control in Discord.
Yeah.
It was me.
Oh, it was you.
It was me.
Okay.
Yes.
I have to tell you a funny story.
Go ahead.
So for some reason, I don't remember using birth control ever. Like maybe in my 20s, maybe. But then I was racking my brain. Like, what did I do to not get pregnant? I know I had a lot of sex, especially after my divorce. But then I remembered, like, when I was driving over here, oh my God, I had my tubes tied after my second son was born because I had a miscarriage and then a child and then a miscarriage and a child, and they were just like, this, your body's not going to do this anymore.
Gotcha.
So let's, it's your decision ultimately, but it can kill you if you don't. So they tied my tubes, and I couldn't remember that. And it was seriously like, I know I didn't take birth control. I know I didn't use anything. And then I wanted to have a hysterectomy because I just was like constantly, girl time.
Gotcha.
And every doctor I went to, nope, you're too young. Nope. But my tubes are tied. I'm having all this problem, And so it took me landing in the hospital and almost dying for them to finally do the hysterectomy. And that was a year ago.
I'm so sorry.
And
That's terrible.
So much happier now.
I am so much happier.
It's crazy.
Yeah. I feel like a different person, like literally.
You
Good.
feel like a different person.
Do I?
To us, yeah, or to me.
Squishing me?
You're very upbeat
Oh.
and energetic. Like before you tried, but there you could just see the look on your face some days, and you just look like you don't want to be here.
I was drained. My body was draining out of me.
Yeah,
Constantly.
yeah.
Never had a break. So yeah. But I honestly don't have an answer as far as birth
Control.
You know, it's funny. I don't think that I even considered it as birth control, but I was so adamant when I was younger about not wanting children that I was one of the people who participated in the U.S. trials for the Mirena.
Oh.
And
Wait, what is that?
it's an IUD where you put the thing that's shaped like a Y up your vag, and you only need to have it in for 5 years. But I was one of those people. I opted to have it in for 10.
And how did that do?
It was awesome. Oh well.
Could you feel it?
No, it was wonderful. I absolutely loved it. My periods were amazing. I was one of those people who had amazing results with it.
Yeah. And it didn't poke.
No.
I've heard stories that it
people
pokes
people
penises,
have horror stories about it,
but
I
not
was like,
so
no.
much. No.
I have a weird question. What exactly does the IUD do?
Yeah. I have that same question.
Because I have no idea.
It just looks like a little antenna.
Yeah, like paper clips. You're just throwing paper clips
Well,
up there and hoping for the
even
best.
if you just look at the shape, it stops the sperm from going up and the eggs from coming down.
Oh.
It's shaped like this.
Yeah.
Like it's almost like an
like a
inverted
bull's
T.
horns.
Oh
looking thing.
my goodness!
Yeah,
I've
so-
never looked at it like that.
So you stick it up there, and if it's shaped like if your fingers were curled over, it stops the sperm from going up and the eggs from coming down.
That is so smart.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so
Brilliant.
And so to have that up there for 5, 6, 7 years, you don't have to worry about anything. It keeps your period super light, super predictable, awesome.
That's
Yes,
great.
Wait, how does it do that?
Oh, there's also hormones in there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so some people like you said have horror stories about it. I was one of those people, and they paid me for it. Yay!
Oh wow!
Nice.
Yeah.
Did you just have to report every
Yep,
year?
they would call and ask the most invasive ask questions,
Oh.
and I absolutely loved it.
Oh yeah.
I did. I love sexuality based questions. That's how I knew that I wanted to be a researcher. Because I just lit up every year when I got. Because at first it was every 3 months, and then it was every year.
Okay.
When I passed the 5th year, and I was like, oh my God, I totally want to do this. I love you guys.
And so, are you gonna? So, did you get a new one put in after that, or?
No. Ironically, I learned that I was never able to have children since I was 11.
Oh.
Yeah. So it was a waste of time. But I never knew
But
that.
it helped your periods.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
so that's
yes.
nice.
Yes. But yeah, because my ex-husband wanted children more than anything, and I was like, yeah, no, that's not gonna happen.
Oh no.
Oh.
Now, would that be a good option? Because I know that like some of the not implements. What is that word where they put it under your
The
skin?
implants,
The
yeah.
implants, yeah. Can conflict with like if you're on like antidepressants or certain meds.
Yes,
So-
it doesn't conflict with medications as much. It doesn't have as many health effects. Like Lala said, some women say that they can still feel it. Some women say that you can feel the string. Some women say that it falls out. You know, so just like with any other birth control, there are going to be some horror stories, but I'm one of those people that's like, you know, I had a great time and go get it checked out. You know, if you're one of those women where you think that it's not a good fit for you, go have it readjusted.
Yeah, so I've never been on any form of birth control before, and I'm starting to consider it now. Like I had said before, my partner is very cautious and nervous about sex because the idea of children is so nerve-wracking to him that sex is not enjoyable. Like, it's mostly on him for him to take the precautions at this point, because I have been really nervous about being on birth control, and I have expressed that I'm really nervous and worried about it. And so he's never forced it on me. He's like, no, it's fine. He's like, you don't have to do it. But then I'm like, okay, well, I want to make him comfortable, and I want to make him enjoy sex as much as I enjoy sex. And it might be just a better idea if I just try some form of birth control, just to make both of us comfortable. But
smart.
Yeah, but I'm so nervous. I just don't know,
Have you done a lot of research online and read like people's takes?
So
That can be bad.
I've listened to a few things, and I've asked around, on the Discord. I asked about birth control and people's experiences with it, because I want to know people's experiences. And I've heard the IUD can cause some issues. I've heard cysts. I've heard people talk about. I don't know if you've heard anything about that. You'd probably know more than myself. But because I am prone to bacterial infections and infections of all different sorts because of the medication I'm on, it just makes me nervous that something bad will happen. I will get some sort of infection, because if it can happen, it's going to happen with my body. I got a bug bite on my boob, and it was red. And, I was worried about it. I was like, okay, but it just looks like a bug bite. And then it got a little bit bigger and got a little bit bigger. And I went to the doctor twice. And the second time they're like, yeah, that's a bump, but it's not cancer. And we got it drained, and it was a staph infection. So if it's bad, it's bound to happen,
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So yeah.
I had one of those on my boob too.
Yeah.
I really did. And it was there so long that I was like, what the hell? And so I asked my doctor, I was like, can you tell me what this is? And she goes, yeah, you'll just have to have it drained.
Yeah.
And I was like, wait, what? I was like, I don't understand. I thought
Mine was there for a week. It developed over a week.
It was so long. Well, it felt like it was so long, but
it was uncomfortable, painful. Had to get cut open. Had to wear a patch on it.
yep.
I mean, it's healed now. There doesn't look like there's much of a scar, but it was just painful. Yeah.
Someone mentioned spermicide.
Yes, somebody did.
Is that still a thing?
I guess someone loves it. The foam. I think it's a foam.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know how that works though. Is that you know what? In my head, I imagine the foamy stuff that you put in
Shaving
your
cream?
hand for your hair to make it curly.
Mousse.
Yeah, mousse, yeah.
I imagine it's in a can and you stick it up your vajayjay.
Isn't it kind of like is it like a lube or no?
I don't know.
I've
I
never
don't
used
know.
it.
I feel like there's spermicide lube. I feel like I've heard that. I feel like my partner's talked about that. But we use a condom and we pull out.
I think some
Both together, never apart. We would never just use the pull out method because it does not work, and he would be like, we just can't have sex.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, I don't have any good birth control.
That's when you just crawl over the
Things.
top of him and be like, well, you can't have sex.
No, but he'd be fine with that, though. That's the thing. I'm the one who's like, I need to have sex, and I need it. And
Yes.
he's like, there's a time and a place. I'm like, okay, but we're in my room alone. Yeah, no, he's definitely, I like to say he's asexual, but I don't necessarily know if he is asexual. He's just has a very low sex drive.
Is he on medication?
No, he's not on any kind of medication. He should be, but he's not. That sounds like it's mean, but it's really not. He has thyroid problems. But I don't think that has anything to do with it. I think it is just him being nervous about getting me pregnant. But yeah, he's just talked about experience in the past, playing a video game. All my friends at a certain age would look at a girl's butt. They'd play as the girl so they could look at her butt in a video game.
Still do.
He's like, why would you do that? Why would you want to look at her butt? I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah. Like stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, our sex is good, so I can't complain.
Hey,
Yeah.
and that's all that
awesome.
matters.
Yeah.
That's very good. We have a kink fetish of the week.
Do we?
Yeah.
Oh.
Would you like to share that? Are you?
Which one? We have a few items up for discussion on the to take place with the kink fetish of the week, kink/fetish of the week. We have sexual degradee.
Which is me.
Yeah, and I know we talked about degradation a while back, but we actually have somebody on the podcast now that we
Yes.
can ask all the questions about.
Ask away.
First of all, what does it mean for those listeners that don't know?
What is a person who's in degradation?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like being humiliated, kind of just being put in situations where you're gonna feel embarrassed. I guess that's like the best way I can explain it.
That's a good way.
Yeah.
I get
That's
it
a very
now.
good way to explain it.
Yeah. And you like that.
I love it.
Does it turn you on?
Oh, very much so. Yes. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Sweet. Yeah.
And does your partner do that for you?
Yes.
He
Yeah,
does?
Yeah. Yes.
And so he knows.
yes. He knows.
Oh, okay.
He knows all my kinks.
Little things.
Good.
Is anyone else at this table into that?
I not necessarily, just have the occasional, like, I'll see things and I'm like, fuck, that was hot. Like, the only thing I can think of right now is her looking up at him and be like, spit in my mouth.
Ew.
I know you're
sorry.
going, I know you're just going to
You're
be
not
like,
a spittle
I'm
person.
not
She's
a
not a
bodily
bodily
fluid
fluid.
person.
at all. But there was just something about it that, and that's not something that I would have ever thought was of interest to me. I'd just be like, no, it's degrading. Like, I'm anti-degrading. I want to empower and build and hold somebody up, not like tear them down. But at the same fucking time, it was fucking hot.
There's a lot
Okay.
of different things that can be degrading.
That's true.
Like just a lot of random things that, somebody might be their fetish and they don't find it degrading, but I find it degrading, so it's hot to me. Or there's like a specific fetishes where, oh, like that's just my fetish, but I'm like, oh no, that's hot because if you did it like this, it'd be degrading and I would like it.
Would it be degrading if, like, you liked Captain Crunch, but instead I bought you, like, the generic kind in the bag?
No.
It's not degrading?
No.
Because it's the only one, they're the ones that have the zippers on them, the Ziploc.
Can you give us an example of something that's happened to you that got you all turned on that was degrading or embarrassing or...
The most embarrassing one, like, I don't know, it's kind of embarrassing for me, but a degrading thing I'm into is actually, I know a lot of people have this fetish, but feet. And I don't like feet. Like, that's such a weird thing to say. Like, but I want to be, like, stepped on, or, like, while I'm being fucked, put your foot on my face and hold me down, or things like that. Or, put your feet in my mouth or in my body, etc.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Do you ever want to be the degrader?
No.
No?
I mean, I've joked about it with my partner. I'm like, you don't want to be a sub? I can be a dom for you. And he's like, no. Like, there's times where if I'm little, he'll be little with me, but like he's not a little, But I think it's just more to just play along with me or like to tease me like, no, I can't take care of you because I'm also little.
There's
Cute though.
there's something about that, about being around littles that like brings you, even if you're not a little, like, yeah, exactly, to some like special place that later on you're thinking like, fuck, I miss that feeling of like being around them when they're in the little space and just the energy and I don't know, it's like, it's magical.
Yeah. Aww. Yeah, he tells me I need more little friends all the time.
There's a little community. Do you know that?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Are you part of it?
I don't know. No, I don't know a lot of people.
You should talk to Brad Steele before you
Okay.
leave tonight.
All right.
Yeah.
I will.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
I realized, no, we're not talking about that. No. What else was there?
Blue Balled by Lala.
That's funny.
Actually, we were going to get into the whole non-sexual littles
Yes.
as well.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, perfect.
Yeah. So, yeah, I usually refer to myself as a sexual, degrading, and non-sexual little. And the reason I say I'm a non-sexual little is because I don't know whether or not me being a little has to do with a coping mechanism or a form of therapy for myself, or if it's just a solid kink that I enjoy, because I've always kind of done the little thing before I knew what being little was. And even when I was young, I'd walk around and talk in like a little voice, or like around my family, or things like that. I don't know if that makes any sense, but
It does.
yeah.
I like hanging out with the littles. I think I had when I learned about littles, because I didn't learn about it right away, because when we first started this community, there weren't any littles.
Oh, yeah.
Or they weren't confident enough to come out. So I didn't know what that was, like to be a little, right? But when I learned about it, I thought that it was going to be a sexual thing. Like a naughty daddy likes when I do this. Or daddy likes it when you do this, or whatever.
I've had a lot of men try to force the like daddy-daughter kind of thing onto me, and where that isn't my kink.
Yeah,
like,
but that's
right.
what I thought it was.
Yeah.
Until I think one of the bigger tastings where they had like a little's corner, and it just was like mind-blowing that it was so innocent and so pure and so sweet, and it makes you want to just sit there and watch them.
Does.
And I think I did sit cross-legged and just watch them color and play with their dolls.
Yes.
And it was really cute.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes me want to like read like stories, like get like a big cuddle puddle and just read like bedtime stories.
Yeah, I
and
love to
stuff.
read to kids. Yeah, I love that.
Join my Discord and read stories for us on video chat.
We may have to join your
We may
Discord.
have to do that.
And
Yeah.
We may have to do that.
actually, I didn't even know you had a Discord, so yes.
Yeah, it's petting zoo. It's the same as my class, so it's pets and littles.
I need to get. I have, since the whole quarantine thing and everything went online, I've completely not kept up with any of the, not just local, but like there's whole classes and courses that they're doing online that are completely free, and I'm like, I should really be involved in that, or at least participate. And I just don't. Like, I don't know why I don't.
Is your channel on our Discord, on the Gotham Press Podcast Discord?
I linked it there once, but I don't know if it's still.
I don't think it is.
Link it again.
Link it.
Yeah, growing up, I've always, well, you couldn't tell today because I'm dressed in my pajamas, kind of. But growing up, I was always very into fashion. And one of the fashions, and also I would dress in like Japanese fashions growing up. Not so much anymore. But a community I was part of when I was younger was a part of the Japanese fashion Lolita community. And through that community, I kind of left it, and I'm kind of loving it again, but I don't know if I can do it to myself, but I don't know how to say this, but growing up in that community, I felt extremely kink shamed, so I did have to leave, and that's why I left the community. That specific community is because the way they talk about kinks and specifically littles is just so makes me feel so bad about myself, and it's so unhealthy that I had to pull out. And I was like, I can either be this kinky person who I know I want to be, or I can be somebody who dresses in this way, but I don't think I can be both of them because I cannot deal with the shame that I felt in this community.
That's too bad.
Yeah.
That is.
This community that you mentioned, were they lifestyle?
Yes, it's a not a kink community.
Oh,
It
okay,
is a
okay.
fashion community, and it is a
Okay.
lifestyle community. So it's your life, and everything is about this fashion. Your
Okay.
world revolves
Okay.
around this
So
fashion.
not like a BDSM.
No, it is not a BDSM.
But they knew about
con.
littles.
They know about littles because a lot of littles will tag photos in the fashion, or
Oh, okay.
and it is a fashion where minors are involved in it, so they want to keep kink far, far away from them, and
Okay.
they
Right.
don't want to have their fashion
Okay, that's understandable.
turned into a kink for those minors who are in this community, and have these people who are kinky coming into their comm and being kinky around minors.
Right. That makes sense. That does make sense.
And it's like, well, I'm kinky, I don't have to be that. I don't have to be that while I go out around other people.
Right.
But it's like, it's a part of myself that I don't hide from my friends. Like, oh yeah, I'm kinky and I love this and this and this. But if I had those friends, I don't think I would have been able to express that side of myself.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Sorry to throw out a community you know nothing about.
Oh no,
Oh, no,
yeah,
that's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We are all here to learn.
Yes, we are.
I wanted to also ask about being a sub and what that means as a whole, basically. It seems like I don't know that we've had pure subs on before. Are you a sub, Lala?
Yes,
You are?
I am.
Why did I think you were a switch?
I'm not a switch, but Greedy's mistress always tries to get me to do stuff. So every once in a while, I'll eat a cookie and I'll pretend, but I don't do a very good job. Stop blinking your eyes at me. Brad Steele and I did do a scene once, and he enjoyed it. But I, it's not my comfort. I'm not good at flogging. I can paddle, but who can't? You know, like.
Right.
So no, it's
My
not.
sixth grade principal couldn't paddle worth a damn.
But yeah, I consider myself submissive, not a switch, not dominant. I pretend. I mean, hi, Mistress Lala. Hello.
Right?
Yeah.
I understand. I wanted to try to find a way to talk about the fact that you can be a sub or a dom, but you can also still try things. Like you're not stuck in a bubble.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I didn't know how to get to that point. I was hoping we could find a way.
I
guess
think
we
you
just
just
did.
have to find your comfort level and find a community that you're comfortable with to try different things. Because you just got to be comfortable in the skin you're in and be willing to step out and try things.
Yeah,
Like,
I think it's completely fine to try things. I mean, I don't prefer being a dom. I don't really like being a dom, but I wouldn't mind trying it. You know, there's nothing wrong in trying it, but I don't think I feel like I'd be too mean, honestly, because I would just do everything that I want and in a dom. So, but I feel like I would just be too mean because what I like is just mean.
Me
too.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, I'm definitely a switch all day, every day, 60-40.
60 doms?
60 dom.
Oh, okay. Every day? Every day.
Yeah, just
All
about
day,
in
every
everything
day.
that I do.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, see, at work, I'm dominant. I'm very dominant at work. So when I get home, I don't want to be dominant.
I've seen you.
And that's how my mom is.
I haven't seen you at your work because I don't follow you that far down the road. But
Thank you for that.
you're welcome. But I have seen you in work mode.
Yeah,
like
when I
with-
do parties.
with parties and stuff. And you have you're very. That's why I was curious.
I'm very
Or why I
aggressive and
thought-
strong. Like I know what I want. That's
Exactly.
why. When it's in my head, I know what I want, and I know how to tell you how to do it. And if you don't do it right, I'm going to do it over.
And be pissed about it.
I'm not going to be pissed about it, but I tell my team all the time, if I tell you to do something and you go and do it and then I check your work and I don't like it, you're not allowed to have your feelings hurt if I redo it.
That makes sense.
And usually they're okay with it because I want it my way.
But that's a good thing. That's a good thing.
It's a good thing.
Yeah.
It's a good thing.
But then I don't want to be that person at home. I want someone to take care of me and make the decisions and tell me what I'm cooking for dinner and, you know, what we're going to watch on TV. I don't want to make those decisions.
It's relaxing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If that answer ever comes back to you as like the jalapeno chicken enchilada thing, let me know.
The sriracha chili.
Yeah. So good.
Good. I'm glad you liked them.
I had a really good time.
Did you?
Yeah.
Good. We're happy to have you here.
Yeah, this was a good
You
show.
should be here more.
You should. You have so much information.
Oh, I appreciate
all
it.
up here. You have so much. And it's so, like, I'm
Breath of
sucked
fresh air.
in, right?
Yeah,
like, I'm so
it's
sucked
what I
in.
study, and I love it. I could talk about sex, and I like that. I love switching back between the academic to the kink,
Yes.
the kink to the academic. That's what I love the most.
It's awesome.
Yeah, going back was like, you know, now I can tell you what this technical thing is, but it'd be better just to show you. I'm just gonna do it.
Everybody's turned on now.
Yeah, everybody's turned on now.
Yeah, I love that. Oh, anybody else has to go get their kids?
Yeah. No, I don't have to go get kids, but we...
She had a class at 7.
Oh, no.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
Oh, my gosh. It's 8:30.
It's all right.
Yeah, we need to end this.
I don't
Okay.
mind. I don't mind being late
So
or not going.
End
It's
it,
okay.
Thief.
So Lala,
Yes,
this has been a very educational episode.
it has. Very educational. I hope you guys
Did we
learned
answer
stuff.
your birth control questions at all? Or give you a
It's
direction?
okay.
To
I'm
kind of...
going to a gynecologist at the end of the month.
Perfect.
So
That's
they'll answer
probably-
all my questions for me.
That's a lot better.
Make sure you write them
lot better
down.
choice.
Okay.
Okay.
They got pamphlets.
I can't read.
Oh. I think they have pictures.
Thief,
Yep.
do you have any final thoughts?
Final thoughts. Nope.
Wow. We
Nothing
stumped
that
you.
I can think of.
Okay.
I was trying to think of some orgasmic final thoughts, but I can't.
We'll come back to you.
Okay.
Sugar, do you have any final thoughts?
No, I'm just very happy to be back on the podcast. It was really fun. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here.
Yeah,
thank
we
you.
really appreciate you being here and missing your class. Sorry.
Yes, it's okay.
Oh, yeah.
And Tess, do you have any final thoughts?
I just want to say thank you. This has been so phenomenal. Any day that I get to talk about the Skene gland and hopefully get to put it in practice later is a good day.
Awesome.
Lala, do you have any final thoughts?
Be yourself. Be kinky. Try new things. Root around in your vajayjay and find that button because I may have to do that when I get home tonight. Just to see if I can find it. Yeah.
You should. Wait till you get home, not on the way home.
All right. Thief, I'm going to circle back to you.
Yeah?
Any final thoughts now?
I do actually, but I'm going to hand it off to Awesome for a moment here.
Okay.
Awesome, can you come over here real quick?
Sharing a mic.
How did you people get in my house?
I know the code.
Too many people know how to get in this place.
Only the right amount of people.
How can I help you, thief?
I was just wondering what we usually do when we're not in, but we're...
And we are out.
Bye.
Bye.